Hello, today we are out in my horse pasture, mostly because I don't want to be here. Not because I don't love my horses and not because I don't want to spend time with them and everything, but the flies are terrible. That could be a reason. Mostly just because it gives me a lot of anxiety lately, and I feel like I tend to avoid a lot of things that I enjoy in my life because of my anxieties. We're doing a lot of construction around my barn and stuff, so things just aren't very convenient. So stuff like being able to tie them up or put them away or feed them is just kind of disorganized. It's not picturesque. As you can see, my pasture is pretty wild, and I just figured if I can film something while working with her, then I can get this out of the way and kind of get over that desire to not be out here doing it. And I need to work with her very badly because she's young. She needs to not constantly, but she needs to be regularly worked to become more, I would say, started or just well-trained. I am able to ride her under saddle, but I've been doing a lot of groundwork, so I'm trying to get her over some anxieties and just get her used to being uncomfortable and getting over those things. And a big reason why I've been avoiding it is because I'm just kind of scared. I don't want to get hurt. And also it's just like the thing where it's like I have to go out there and do it, and I have to go out there, and so it's just kind of the pressure of having to do something and finding time to do it. So another excuse I was gonna use today is that it's raining. It's kind of drizzling today, but not so much that I can't be out here. I wanted to maybe try and get her rode today, but I think I'm just gonna do groundwork because the ground is wet and the area I've been riding her in lately is like super muddy. And there's just getting her from here to where I tack her up is like extremely muddy. So anyway, I'm just gonna do some groundwork and talk more about some things and stuff. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go to slow pace today because the ground is kind of wet. That's kind of the reason I didn't want to ride her even in the pasture today, because if she did spook or something and slipped, we could get hurt even if she wasn't being dangerous. But yeah, so a reason I've been needing to work her, been needing to work her a lot more lately is because I'm going to be going on a trail ride next week for the first time in a long time. And I just wanted her to be more safe for whenever we ride, because it'll be Kelso and Dove that we're riding. Kelso is a good horse to ride. He is a little stubborn, but he is safe to ride pretty much in general. Whereas Dove, she's not unsafe, she's just not well trained. So if she were to spook or do something, she could unintentionally hurt. It takes a while. She gets kind of worked up, but and it's muddy. So really, as long as I go slow, she should be fine. It's kind of good to work her in these conditions because she'll hear squelching and slipping, and she can kind of get over those feelings while we're working. And I kind of want to address too why I don't post too much of the horses, mostly because online horse people can be super judgmental. I think online horse people are some of the worst people to interact with. Everything's abuse, everything's wrong, everything should be done their way, and if you're not doing it that way, then you are the devil. So it's just not worth it with where I'm at with my training and where my horses are. I just don't need outside opinions from anyone from 9 years old to, someone who doesn't really ride but rode once when they were 12. So I know my training's not perfect. My setup certainly isn't perfect right now. That's a big reason I don't post, is because my horses aren't always super pristine and beautiful. I mean, I'm sure people are watching this and having an aneurysm because I'm working when the ground is kind of slick and I'm on a little bit of a slant. But life isn't full of flat, perfect arenas with perfect footing and perfect weather in LA. So it is what it is. I do the best I can, but you can see as we've worked a little bit, she's calmed down a little bit. I like to touch her with the flag to remind her that this isn't gonna hurt her. This is just a directional tool. If I wanted to use it to correct her, I could, but I want her to not be afraid of it. See, she's kind of slowing down there. She's watching, so I'm gonna redirect her. But yeah, the purpose of the flag isn't to hit or hurt the horse. I am gonna tap her with it if I need to, and it is for my safety. Her butt's a little too close to me. See how I tapped her with just the fabric and it got her to move. I wonder if I'm even in the camera right now. So let's dance back around to see if we're in the camera. See, she got a little excited by that, but it's good to do stuff like this to get her to realize that when I ask stuff, it's not a big deal. We're just, But yeah, that's a big reason I don't post. I probably won't ever post myself riding unless it's from on the horse's perspective, because I don't need a bunch of internet people telling me all the things I'm doing wrong. I've only been working with and riding horses for about 5 years now, and that's just not enough time to be perfect. But yes, I am very anxious about this trail ride coming up. a little bit about riding. I've taken Dove on a trail ride before and it went well. She actually, once she gets going, is pretty safe. I would say she spooks a lot less than Kelso even. And she also has way less big reactions. Oh, no. So basically the idea is I make her go to the right and she keeps trying to go before I direct her to, so that's why I stop her. Because I want her to wait for my guidance instead of choosing what to do. And the more I do that, she'll stop trying to predict everything and just kind of wait and listen for what I'm asking. So yeah, once we're on the trail, I'm not really too worried about the riding. Obviously, I'm gonna be careful and wear a helmet and get off if I feel things are becoming unsafe. But I'm more concerned about trailering. I just don't have a great setup to trailer them in a way that I feel safe. I have come up with some solutions to work on before them, but because of the rain, it's been kind of frustrating not being able to practice those things. So I'll have pretty limited days next week when it's not raining to kind of work on that. I wanted to maybe work on walking her towards the trailer, but with the mud and everything, it's just not worth the extra element. Yeah, see, that's why I occasionally go up and touch her back with the flag, because I want her to not worry about when something suddenly touches her, because her brain was probably somewhere else, and then all of a sudden the flag touched her and it spooked her a little bit. But this really helps a horse get used to being startled and coming back to a place of thinking and calm. And the more you practice that, their nervous system kind of just gets used to it. The same with people. You know, the more you expose yourself to something scary, the less scary it becomes once you realize you don't die. So yes, the trailering thing is giving me tons of anxiety. I did finally reach out for help with my old trainer, and she gave me a lot of good ideas I hadn't considered before. So I'm hoping with that we can safely trailer. There we go. And also the last time I trailered, trying to come out of the trailer, we had a little bit of an accident where she pulled back in the trailer, which is when she, haltered and tied in the trailer, and she was startled by something and pulled back and started thrashing. It was not great, very scary, and it's made trailing for me very, very scary ever since. But I have to face that eventually and get over it. And in the future too, something I'm changing is I'm gonna try not to hard tie any of the horses in the trailer to prevent that in general. We should probably stop, I've been doing this too long. So I'm gonna use some blocker ties, so that way if she pulls back, it's not gonna catch her, and she can back up a couple feet and then come to her senses. And I think that'll prevent that in the future. I just wish it had never happened, but you don't know until you know, and she had never pulled back before then, so it just is what it is, and you live and you learn. I'm just glad nothing bad happened in that incident. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about the flies. See, everything's just not ideal right now. I put fly spray on her earlier when I was feeding her, but I don't think that natural stuff works very well. So yeah, I'm hoping trailering goes well. I just need to get out and be around the horses more, and I feel like I avoid working with the horses and even doing stuff like painting and things like that because I do love these things and I do fear the failure. It's like the more I'm around them, the more I feel the stress of the things I need or want to do, or feel like I have a lot of supposed to's attached to it. So I think even just by coming out when it's raining and full of flies and the pasture looks ugly, I can slowly start to get past that feeling and want to be out here a little more with them, because I do feel better every time I'm around them and see how calm and nice she is. And this stuff does help and it does work. And even if this is all I do today, it was better than doing nothing at all and saying, oh, we'll do it tomorrow. But it's like I got a little bit in each day, and that's better than doing nothing. And also filming, I do also avoid filming a lot. And I think just combining these two things, the things I didn't want to do, and putting them together, I'm gonna feel so much better after it's done. And I can say I had done more today, even if I was anxious about looking stupid or people judging me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I might stop today just because it's so slick, and she did so well. She really wasn't too crazy. She's been doing really well with being okay with the flag. When I first introduced her to it, she was like bucking, running away from it, just terrified. Even now, she's still a little anxious around it, but I think with all the work we've done, she's really become okay with it. She'll even smell it. And Kelso's over here just being in the business. So sorry about the flies, sorry about my field not being mowed and perfect and weeded. I'm hoping by this time in November, things will be tidied up. We'll finally have the barn done, and I can finally be the perfect person the people on the horse online community want me to be. But until then, bye.